So, maybe you feel that way about folk music. Maybe you feel that way about rap music. Like, maybe you feel that way, I don't know. Like, and I think there's something to be said about that. You know what I mean? Like, lyricism, rap, poetry, like that is an art form that literally requires nothing. That requires no purchase. That requires no riches. That requires, absolutely does not require an education. You can be an illiterate poet. You know what I mean? Even if it's a form of oratory, speaking, spoken word. Like, do you see the train of thought I'm on right now, where I think it's important, and I think it's worthwhile to notice that a lot of the art forms and a lot of the modes of expression we take the least seriously are ones that require the least capital to be good at. Do you see where I'm saying this? Do you see where I'm going here? I mean, like, this is like kind of like, I don't know, this might be kind of a weird thing to say, but I mean, no, I don't know. Like, we think of poetry. It requires no education. It requires no tool. We think of rap music. A lot of people talk shit about rappers because they think that they're just saying words. They have no musical ability. Well, that's fucking a bunch of horse shit. But like, it's a type of music that just you just need to be there. You need to be present. You need to be writing. You need to be rapping. You need to be singing. You don't really need to know how to play an instrument, though I'm sure it would help you. But do you see do you see the coding here, where, like, yes, there are a lot of racial implications to this type of conversation. There's probably a lot to be said about gender with this type of conversation, but the most obvious and apparent one that, despite your objections, you probably got to agree with, is that these conversations about low capital of requirement modes of expression is the difference in class, I guess is what I'm saying. It is the difference in the money required to be good at these things. Like me, I come, I grew up in like a white town. You could consider that. I didn't grow up poor. I grew up like in a middle class. If you can't tell by listening, I'm white. You know what I mean? And like, reality is, obviously, who knows, but I mean, a reality is, if I was born in total poverty, or if I was born to different people or in a different community, I might not ever have gotten into art. I might not ever, not because I wouldn't have been inclined to do so, but because I may not have had the freedom or the time or, the means at all to have even wanted to learn about art, let alone go to a community college, or let alone have access to internet, or have extra money from a job to buy a fucking laptop to watch documentaries on fucking YouTube. Like, do you see what I'm saying here? But I don't know, man. I don't know. And with that being said, with poetry, with fucking rap, with literally any art form that doesn't require you to pay for an education or pay for all types of fucking tools and paints and studio time, like, there are so many modes of expression that deserve our attention, and you know what? One of those is skateboarding. A lot of those are music based. Sorry, I got something in my throat here. And a lot of them are conceptual. They're ephemeral. They are not easily commodified, and like, that's another thing too, is that like, and like, I guess what I'm saying here is that, I guess if there's anything I'd like you to take from this, is that, the next time you're scrolling through Instagram, like the next time, like, I don't know, you're just like talking to somebody, I guess the next time you stumble across art or some type of creative output, whether it's a TikTok, it's a fucking skate edit, or I don't know, man, it's like a motherfucking statue performer in a tourist area. Like, understand that these people are, I guess just try to keep in mind not what you're seeing. Don't consider what you're seeing, but consider how you're seeing these things, because a lot of the times I guess what I'm saying is a lot of the times we look at these things a lot more critically and with a higher bar than we look at other things. And I think that's just really unfair, I guess, you know, like how can we change the way we think to try to see, you know, Bad Baby on the same wave that we see, you know, the fucking Steve Miller Band? How can we see Kendrick Lamar the way we see Bob Dylan? You know what I mean? How can we see, you know, how can we see a Nigel Houston skate video the same way we see a Marina Abramovic performance? You know what I mean? And like, sure, you might bring up things like artistic intention. Nigel Houston like isn't doing like the artist in present fucking skate video. Like, sure, he may not have like the same intentions that Marina does, but in a sense, he is a creative individual that is documenting an ephemeral performance experience, and in a way where he is using his body probably to his detriment to express these things and to show you these things, you know? So, I don't know, man. I truly don't know. I just think that we see art made by people with money a lot more generously than we see art made by people who might not. And I think that is really fucked up. And I think that it's really easily changed too, just by being aware of this shit. And I don't know, just keep your eyes open, keep your heart open, keep the generosity, keep the love, and keep the poison out of your gaze. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to shut up and not criticize. It's easy to hear people out. It's easy to listen, but it's very, very hard to look at things and not secretly be like, yo, that's fucking bullshit, without actually kind of consuming it, I guess is all I'm saying. So I think I've made my point in like a million different ways, but bottom line here, main takeaway, skateboarding is art, you know? And if you don't think so, you know, you're probably a little fucking bitch. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. You're amazing. This has been a podcast of Brian Huntress. I'm in bed right now. It's dark. I'm just chilling. Yeah, but I don't know. Okay, cool. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. You're beautiful. Follow me on Spotify. Peace.